Now at 6, confusion over the Kansas new food sales tax. We're going to hear from an area business on their issues. Plus, we chat with a TV wizard who's been part of KOAM history for nearly half a century. And a new era for Webb City's football program. The school announces the new head coach, and we'll hear from him.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The new year starts with new confusion over the food tax in Kansas. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly's Axe the Food Tax plan is lowering the sales tax for non-prepared food. However, KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to one business owner who says what the state considers non-prepared food is confusing.
For Kansas businesses such as grocery stores, adjusting to the new sales tax rate for non-prepared food has been smooth. However, businesses that sell a mixture of prepared and non-prepared food, the adjustment hasn't been easy.
There's so many different contraindications and conflictions between the descriptions and the specifications of the items that we're selling that it causes so much confusion.
Most of the confusion comes from understanding what is considered prepared and non-prepared food according to state guidelines. Food is considered prepared when it is heated by the seller, mixing the food for sale as a single item, or providing utensils with the food. Prepared food is not granted the reduced food sales tax.
A package of mints that's already prepackaged, that has a barcode and has a nutritional label, is considered a reduced tax rate item. But a package of candy, like chocolate pecans, that we repackage to offer, as a value-added item here, is a full tax rate.
The confusion starts with the businesses, but doesn't end there. I reached out to county and state government for clarification, but was unable to get any clarification. In fact, some that I spoke to at the state level told me they couldn't answer my questions before transferring my call.
It would be extremely beneficial if the state would put on classes and breakout section where we could actually have a question and answer session and ask them specifics. And until they do that, not everybody is going to be on the same page.
Reporting in Metcalfe, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Now, KOAM reached out to the Kansas Department of Revenue and was transferred 3 times. We were then told we would receive a call back from someone who could answer our questions. We also left a message with the governor's office, and we have not heard back. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another warm one or mild one for us today. Temperatures shot well into the 60s. Still outside, we're in the upper 50s across the region. A lot of clouds. We do have a little dynamic little system that's going to rotate through tonight. You can already see some showers popping up. These are not reaching the ground, but later on tonight they will be reaching the ground as this storm system passes right on through. Look at this spin right across western Kansas, band of snow behind it, and it's that band of snow that we're going to keep our eyes on later on tonight. It's not a huge deal, but it will give us a few issues. We're going to have thunderstorms in northern parts of Arkansas later on this evening. We'll get a few showers in here, but late, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we get this little band of snow that rotates into the region. Could come down at a pretty good clip as well. Of course, we're going to break this all down for you here in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. We want to clarify a story we told you about yesterday regarding a plea deal made by Jimmy Gene Kelly Jr. Kelly previously claimed Tony Moran took a gun and shot herself in the head before he shot her in the torso. In court documents last week, Kelly admitted to firing both shots himself and pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Webb City High School names a new head football coach today. The school has announced that assistant coach Ryan McFarland will be the new leader of the Cardinals football program. McFarland has served as an assistant coach for Webb City for the past 2 seasons under John Roderick. Prior to that, he spent time as a head coach in both Riverton and Seneca. But it's a bit of a homecoming for McFarland, who also played for Webb City.
It's really been a surreal feeling. I mean, it's something where, I've thought about it, and it's, replacing Coach Roderick, and I always known that it was a possibility, but for the day to actually be here is kind of, I kind of feel like I'm in a dream.
You can check out our full interview with Coach McFarland on our KOAM YouTube page. Freeman Health System is making sure its employees are able to stay healthy. They hosted a fitness fair with 26 vendors showcasing health benefits to Freeman employees. Those vendors included fitness centers, nutrition services, and health organizations.
One or two things that they want to work on this year. So maybe they stop by the diabetes education and just talk about a healthy diet so that they can maybe just watch what they're eating, maybe just start writing it down. Maybe visit with the Y or the Joplin Roadrunners and say, hey, I'm going to start, I can do 3 times a week walking for 30 minutes.
Employees who attended the fair were also entered to win door prizes. Some help is on the way for those in need in the 4 states. Ajinomoto Foods North America donated $1,000 to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of the 4 states today. The company made the donation to show their appreciation to the Joplin community. How are you planning for retirement? Coworkers are trying to help a local Walmart employee be able to retire. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more about their plans and what you need to do to prepare.
Introduce yourself.
This is the Padre coming to you from Walmart on the North Pole.
Bruce Winch, or Padre as he's known, is a Joplin Walmart door greeter. He has been working at Walmart for almost 2 years now. Coworkers say he puts a smile on everyone's face.
I've always loved him, and everybody's always loved him. He's always grateful. He's always greeting you, asking your day, but Padre always has the love from Walmart associates, and even our customers.
Yes, it's cold today.
The 75-year-old's coworkers set up a GoFundMe to help him retire because he doesn't have the money to do so.
For me to help him in any way I could, it makes me feel like a good person, and I feel like he'll be able to finally get that ease and rest for him and his wife so he doesn't have to struggle consistently.
Pittsburgh financial advisor Steve McGravin told me that preparing for retirement is mostly about saving.
When you're looking for retirement, the best thing to do is start saving early and often as possible. The earlier you can start, the better off you're going to be in the long run.
McGravin also said there's other things to watch.
The other thing we see is probably not investing properly. So that's where, even though you're not retirement age, it's also good to have a plan at a younger age to try to set the goal to try to get to that retirement age with a nice nest egg.
Judy Sykes retired 15 years ago at the age of 65. She still works part-time to help her and her husband.
I've worked a little bit off and on. I am working now 4 days a week part-time, and we use that money for our social affairs, things to do for fun. If we didn't have that, we would be living very close to the bone.
Well, I want to end up in 5 years.
Yes.
I hope not the grave, but I'd like to go to retirement for the 3rd time.
Spicer hopes that they're able to help Padre.
We love him, and hopefully you get to retire soon.
In Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
You can help Padre by clicking the link in Carrie's story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Up next, the remarkable career of a guy who knows a lot about KOAM history because he's been here at the station for most of it, nearly half a century. And later, the legacy of a giant in country music and what he's brought to Branson, Missouri. We've seen a lot of KOAM TV co-workers come and go over the years, but none who've been around longer than one guy we affectionately call the Wizard. He's been conjuring up TV magic from behind the curtain for 47 years. Now he's decided to begin a long-earned retirement, but we can't say goodbye without a hello. So we take a moment to introduce you to the old friend you've never met. Wanted to do this in the control room because it is one of the few things that has been at this TV station longer than we have.
Control room. That's misnamed from the very beginning.
He knows the station inside and out. You might not know his name or face, but generations of KOAM viewers know the voice.
You've been watching KOAM TV, Pittsburgh, Joplin.
Dale Switzer was a young 20-something when he and his new bride made the trip to their new home for his new job at KOAM TV. That was in 1975. In the decades since, Dale has been a lot more than an announcer. He's made appearances on live TV.
I was hoping we would have some good weather to talk about today. I like to be associated with good weather.
And in commercials.
Dang, man, but nobody's going to care what kind of boots you wear to a bank robbery.
And pulled levers behind the scenes, directing music shows and kids shows and newscasts, long enough to work alongside hundreds of colleagues. Some you've forgotten, and some might seem familiar.
My son had a way of saying his name.
What was that?
Brian Williams.
In his early days as the station's artist, Dale sketched the ads that appeared in local newspapers and TV Guide, and never stopped creating caricatures of coworkers as they moved on to other jobs.
They were leaving, I believe, just to get those drawings. I'm pretty sure.
Dale mastered digital art when computers were still young. As the technology evolved, Dale's creations did too, in commercials, special projects, and documentaries. Even in retirement, Dale will continue finding creative outlets in projects such as his personal websites. You want to check out lovewellhistory.com.
I've been neglecting lately, but get back into that.
Happy retirement. And here's to you for enriching the lives of four-staters for nearly half a century in ways they never knew. It's about time they knew your name, Dale Switzer.
Thanks for pulling me out into the light.
Cheers.
Briefly.
We recorded a roughly 1-hour conversation with Dale as he gives us an inside look at the history of this TV station and the people behind it. You can see that entire discussion on the KOAM YouTube page. It's titled 47 Years of KOAM History with Dale Switzer. Here's some behind-the-scenes stories you've never heard before. We hope you check it out. You can go directly to the KOAM YouTube page with this QR code or look for the link on KOAMnewsnow.com and our Facebook page. A little bit later, we're going to take a look at the legacy of a man who helped put Branson, Missouri on the map.
Plus, a little bit of rain and snow rolling in later on tonight. I'm going to have those details coming up. Well, another mild one for us today. Temperatures again right back up into the 60s, 4 highs, pushing record highs across the region. A lot of clouds, but we do have a storm system and pretty big changes moving in as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Look at our temps. We're still into the upper 50s, especially southwestern Missouri. Most of us at least into the 50s, but our temperatures will really start to drop once again later after midnight. 7th and range line sitting at 57. Winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 64%. We'll drop into the 40s by 3 a.m., 30s by 6 a.m. with a little bit of a rain-snow mix across the region. Already some showers popping up, but these are not reaching the ground. So all this is evaporating before it makes it to the surface. I really don't think we're going to see much in the way of moisture for at least a couple more hours. But look at this intense little upper level low, snow on the backside, rain increasing across northern parts of Kansas. And this is a very fast moving system, but it's heading toward us through the overnight hours tonight. Thunderstorms are up northwestern Arkansas. We could see a few showers. Here's 10 p.m. Let's go to 2 a.m. A little bit of thunder, so rain switching to snow in our northwestern counties. This drops in 3, 4 o'clock, so it should make it into Pittsburgh by about 4 p.m. or 4 a.m. Fort Scott all the way over toward Coffeyville. This band continues to rotate south. 6 a.m. through the metro. Light, possibly moderate snow. It's not going to last long, a couple hours, and then it's going to start to push out of here. Here's 8 a.m. Snow still in southwestern Missouri. Then it's gone. But temperatures stay pretty cold as we go through the daytime hours. High temps only about 39 to 40 degrees, and that's it. That's all we're going to get. All right, snow chances shoot up 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and then start to trail off. So it's not a long system, but still we could get some accumulations. Now the ground is warm. It's been warm the past couple days, and during the snow event, we're going to be sitting above freezing. So I'm going to say a dusting upwards to an inch. Mainly on the grassy surfaces. Also, the winds are going to be an issue. We're going to have northwesterly winds really howling. 4 a.m., gusts 30 to 40 through the morning. We're going to have winds gusting 40, maybe 45 miles per hour at times. So the impact on the roads, I'm going to keep it low, snow and ice, cold low, but the wind is going to be an impact. We're going to have pretty low wind chills as we go through the day. Here's your day planner, hanging in the 30s, morning snow, maybe a little bit of sun late in the day, high temp right around 39, but look at our wind chills. So by morning, sitting into the lower teens. Once we get into tomorrow night, they drop all the way down into the single digits. So it is going to be pretty cold across the region. 39 tomorrow, 41 on Friday, 50s return for the weekend. Next chance for rain on Monday, Wednesday, another system Friday and Saturday. So the pattern picks up a bit as we go through the next few days.
It's a brief return to winter.
Yes.
Next, we're going to look back at the life of Stan Hitchcock, what he's meant to country music and to Branson, Missouri. We're remembering a country music giant who had ties to the Missouri Ozarks. Stan Hitchcock died this past week in a Nashville suburb. The singer, songwriter, and man who gave many country music stars their big break lived in Springfield and Branson for years, and as Joe Hickman reports, he made a lot of contributions.
Stan Hitchcock had such an amazing history that when he passed away last week at the age of 86, he was a member of 2 Country Music Halls of Fame and honored by the elite Cable Television Pioneers organization.
For having successfully launched 3 cable television networks.
His television production was probably his greatest legacy.
One of those is country music's best-known channel, CMT, and he also started Blue Highways TV and the Branson-based Americana TV network that eventually became the Hallmark Channel. Hitchcock also had many radio and TV shows like Heart to Heart, an interview and music program that helped many artists get their start or increase their fan bases. Artists like Bill Anderson, Mel Tillis, Travis Tritt, Barbara Mandrell, Alabama, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Garth Brooks have all had their careers boosted by Hancock. Stan's widow Denise remembers when Garth
came up to Stan, gave him a big old bear hug, and lifted him off the floor and set him down and said, "You are the reason that I made a mark in this business."
It didn't surprise me at all because he's really good with people and he's very good at spotting talent.
Bob Ballou was Stan's friend for over 60 years as the two met in Springfield.
His dad was pastor of Seminole Baptist Church.
When Ballou was in a gospel group known as the Waymakers.
So he sang and we were mightily impressed with him, and we sang and turned out he was mightily impressed with us.
Stan and the Waymakers would tour and make an album together, which led to a solo career for Hitchcock that included 12 albums and serving as the opening act for country legends like Loretta Lynn.
And he was an affectionate person. He never said goodbye without saying, "I love you." I'll miss him.
And you know, I hear him in my sleep telling me one more thing to do for his memorial service.
And he tells me I am his own.
And I get busy and I do it.
A final check of the weather next. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Chris Persley served in the U.S. Army from 2002 to 2004. Carthage, Missouri native served in the 112th Signal Battalion, Special Operations and Airborne Units. He helped save multiple lives during a compound attack and received numerous medals, including a Bronze Star and Superior Unit Award. And we are proud to salute Chris Persley, our 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A Pittsburgh church hosts a welcome dinner for new international students attending Pitt State. And how airlines are dealing with a system outage that impacted thousands of flights this morning. Those stories, a lot more coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Changes coming in the weather.
Yeah, much colder temperatures working in late tonight. Plus, we're going to get a band of rain and snow, some light accumulations, dusting upwards to an inch. Of course, as new data rolls in, we're going to have the latest on this at 9 and 10 tonight.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.